For Lost and Found, number 8, we are talking about the 2010 A-Team movie.
And if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Which is a remake film of the 1983 classic television series that finds 4 combat veterans thrust into a conspiracy of sorts involving... I was just thinking about what that was. Involving money, printing press things, and plates, thank you. And yeah, so this was my choice. Pop Tot, what did you think of the A-Team?
I had not seen this movie since it came out on video. I don't even think I saw it in the theater. Being a child of the 80s, I grew up on the A-Team. It was one of me and my brother's go-to movies or TV shows. The late, great George Bard played the original Hannibal Lecter. Mr. T, of course, coming from Rocky fame, landed the role of B.A. Baracus. Dwight Schultz, who was later on Lieutenant Barclay, and Dirk Benedict, who was Starbuck in the original Battlestar Galactica. When the movie came out, I was a little weird about Liam Neeson being in, but he did pretty good. I rewatched this for the first time in 10 some odd years
at least.
The first thing I sat down, it's funny, is, oh yeah, this is the one with the tank.
Yeah.
They're being hunted by Predator drones. Their C-130 gets shot down, and the only thing they have to survive on is jump in a tank that has parachutes. And the parachutes are all but one and snapped, and they use the front loader to shoot to slow down its descent.
Yeah, and move it as well. Reposition.
And move it.
Yeah.
And this is where we have the physics of the wonderful world of the Fast and Furious. But
fire everything! Come on, baby!
Neither here nor there. I rather liked the movie in an entertaining value.
Hello, my name's Percy. Would you like some pork?
If I broke every bone in your hand, could you still do that?
Bradley Cooper plays Face.
I was a week away from my parole hearing.
You are really down.
He does a wonderful job. I liked even the he's an MMA fighter. They got to play B.A. Baracus.
Yeah, Quentin Rampage Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Murdock, okay, this for you.
Hey, fool, you need to call an airstrike on yourself.
And then the guy from District
9. Yeah, Sharlto Copley. Yeah, he stole the movie for me.
Well, and he supposed to have an accent throughout the movie because it came and went sometimes.
I think that was playing into this crazy factor because he's South African, I believe, but his accent changes a million times.
And I'm like, at first I was like, oh, he's covered his accent, and then it goes in, and then he goes out and goes in, and I'm like, oh wait,
but there's times where it was like British
And Face, the curry tamponade. Murdock.
And then it was like...
The best, sir. I see you put the South African microphone at the bottom. You can't... Embarrassing to the Queen. When I asked him, not yet.
So I definitely think he was playing into that crazy factor. Like, he's just completely unhinged in the entire movie.
You ask him, he thinks he's the best in the world. But he's a functioning lunatic.
And then did they make a joke that at the end, that he's almost playing into it?
You're crazy.
Not that crazy.
Where he knows that he's kind of doing it. So I don't know.
Okay, this is pointless. This guy is fried.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said it.
If you look at this movie from just strictly an entertaining property, which is all it was trying to be, it definitely succeeds. It is just nonstop, balls to the wall action from literally the first 5 minutes on. It just does not stop.
Well, and see, I had forgotten since I've seen this movie the first time that it doesn't start with them as a team.
Right, yeah, me too.
It starts with them, I think 2 of them know each other, and then they kind of work their way to making a 4-man team, and then after they do their first thing together, then it pans forward an indeterminate amount of time to 80 missions later, and they're one of the most elite covert operation, or as they call it, the Alpha team. So I liked it. And Gerald McRaney was the general in there.
Yeah,
and
from the guy from the dad. Well, I know from Jericho, anyways. But
Major Dad.
that part I wasn't a fan of because they had the opening start off and like you said, they all kind of join together and they're in Mexico trying to get this like dictator or cartel boss, and so they're all kind of joining, and then they're in, I believe it's Iraq or could be Afghanistan, and then all of a sudden
the Iraq.
Yeah,
it was
right.
in Iraq. You're right.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they had done all these missions together, but there wasn't like, because I really like when movies do that where they'll have conversations or film direction will show that there's time has passed.
So when the old place get a facelift?
Around 4 years ago. But I assure you, sir, she really hasn't changed much.
And that didn't really happen. And then it was a conversation with Hannibal's character with the general that you realize this time had passed. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Russ, the boys and I can get this done, minus the bloodshed.
I guess time has passed. I didn't realize that.
Well, I'm an idiot.
Howling Mad Murdock, the helicopter pilot, was making steaks, and B.A. Baracus working on his bike, and Face was sitting, and I think there was like this little bit of banter between them that told you that there was a little bit of history that had happened since the opening scenes.
Yeah.
You crazy. Everybody knows. No one can do an antifreeze marinade like you can, Murdock, but I got a little Bell's palsy last time I ate that.
It's only partial paralysis.
This film, while clearly not trying or intending to be perfect, the biggest flaw was probably most evident in my synopsis, in quotations, is that the film's plot is so freaking murky and very kind of confusing as to who the bad guy is and what the intentions are.
Right.
I was, because then you have Patrick Wilson, who I know is Night Owl. A lot of people know from Conjuring and a bunch of other stuff. He plays Lynch, which is a name holder for the CIA agent. And then you have Jessica Biel, who's a lieutenant who's basically in charge of, I guess, investigations and all that. And they're all looking into this Saddam's plates that are creating money.
Now, the only mint outside of the U.S. capable of printing our money belonged to the Shah of Iran during the Iran-Iraq War. It went missing.
And then you have the general, who is also, spoiler not spoiler, behind this as well. And then you have another character who's a mercenary, I believe his name is Pike, who also actually co-wrote the movie as well.
What are you doing? What is he doing? Jesus.
How's it going, Kyle? You all right?
I'm good. Brother, you are far from good. What are you doing?
And they are all into this, but then the A-team is the one that gets blamed for it. But then it gets so murky as to who really the bad guy is. And even by the end, I was like, so who is really the bad guy in this? I don't really understand.
Well, it's one of these scenarios that really kind of everybody that wasn't the A-team was the bad guy, because even Jessica Biel's Soros character, she was the investigative unit that was hunting them down, and there was good proof that the A-team wasn't, alone or made these decisions on their own, but she was pursuing them and them only, really.
Right. Come on, you know we're innocent. You know this.
You're lying. Like you lied in Baghdad.
I did not know. I knew nothing about the plates.
This movie was directed by Joe Carnahan, who I've only seen a couple of his movies, but he most famously did Smoking Aces and all that. He's very creative with how he does his filming of his action sequences and all that. And the end is this huge spectacle that really just doesn't make any damn sense, but it's still really cool to watch and all that and how it's laid out.
I think the negative thing for me is in Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal is one that he's, I love it when a plan comes together. Right. What's his tagline?
I love it when a plan comes together.
He's a man with a plan. He always has a plan, but a lot of his plans are basically based off of luck and contingencies.
Yes,
that don't exist. Like the opening scenes of the movie, how he was going to get the base. Some of the other things that happened were, well, this had to go and this had to go, him zip lining across and landing on top of semi. I mean, what if they had to make a stop somewhere?
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of things like that. And I know it's movie magic and I'm getting stuck in the weeds, but
Yeah, well, they seem to be having some technical issues at the moment.
especially in the Mexican desert thing, he's running there. Well, if B.A. Baracus hadn't been driving through with his iconic van, would he have made it to face in time before they lit him on fire?
Right.
But if I don't reach my friend in time, then he dies.
I love it when a plan comes together.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
It's like, no, I think that was literally just circumstance built on luck. Like, you would have never gotten there. And I really think the selling point of this movie is these four main characters that do so well. There's a lot of chemistry. It's consistently funny. It's consistently entertaining. Liam Neeson and Bradley Cooper are all sharp. Sharlto Copley does a really good job. Quentin Rampage Jackson, who's a very famous mixed martial arts fighter, he actually gets to do one of his moves in the movie to eliminate. I think he actually kills Pike when he does it. He does a really good job, like surprisingly so. A lot of the actors that are,
I loved when he kicked that one dude into the window.
Yeah, a lot of the action stuff had this like high octane feeling to it, and the music was actually pretty good too. Alan Silvestri did it, which a lot of people I think would be most known for his work would be like the Avengers movies and stuff like that. But yeah, the movie, it has a 49% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it wasn't as universally panned as some of the movies we've talked about, but it made no money. It made $170 million on a $100 million budget, which is pretty piss poor, and it was supposed to have a sequel that immediately got killed off. I think if they would have improved the execution, made the story a little bit better, and it's funny because by the end, the conflict all, Lynch gets turned away by the CIA. Then they have John Hamm just randomly come in for like a minute cameo. And then they're like, okay, this is the A-team. These are the guys that are the wanted criminal mercenaries that you want. And I was like, oh, that was the whole point of this. I completely forgot. Like, I literally completely forgot that was the point of it.
In the television show, you never got the backstory except for the opening theme.
Right.
And they were Vietnam. They were elite soldiers from Vietnam. So this was supposed to be their origin story for maybe a sequel or two of them helping other people. That's what they were. They said they were soldiers for hire, but they were always, I don't remember them taking a lot of money in the shows. They were basically helping people that were down on their luck.
Yeah, like a burn notice kind of thing. That's
exactly.
Kind of the way I took from it. Yeah, it just seemed like they were just trying to do their job the entire time. There wasn't any sort of money or anything about that. So that part was a little lost to me. But yeah, overall, I think a lot of the action scenes are really cool. They're pretty well done. There's a lot of spectacle. And for a movie that only cost $100 million, granted, this is 14 years ago, it looked decent outside of some CGI, particularly with the crates in the last scene.
Not kill me. That's a fantastic idea.
Whoa.
Boss, let me do this.
Faith.
Overall, as we usually do on Lost and Found, Lost, you don't worry about it. You go and watch whatever's in movie theaters or in streaming. Or Found, you go find it and enjoy it on a nice Saturday afternoon. The A-Team, where are we putting it?
If it's a hit or a quit it situation, I would hit it again. I think if you, and I know I get to say this a lot in our reviews, if you have never seen it, it's worth a shot. If you like these kind of these action genres, and if you like Fast and Furious, where the physics don't exist and some of the things are just really cool luck and chances, but action filled. If you have seen it, but it's been a while, it's not a bad movie. I wouldn't turn it off. It's definitely entertaining. I love Liam and I love Bradley Cooper. So yeah, I'd say watch it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is a fun action spectacle. Doesn't take itself too seriously. It's not trying to be a drama or disguise itself as something else. The four leads have really good chemistry. It's pretty consistently funny. Jessica Biel's in the movie. She does a pretty good job. Patrick Wilson makes for a pretty fun, hammy bad guy. He's just completely just throwing everything at the wall and just going for it.
Barracks at Fort Carson.
She's hot. Hey, I didn't burn you. Morrison did. I really want to shoot you.
And the tank scene is so ridiculous that I actually kind of enjoyed it. Like, it was just so stupid that I loved it, and that's completely the point. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth checking out, and it's on HBO Max currently. Should be at the time of recording of this. So let us know. Have you guys seen the 18? What'd you think of it? Are you bummed that it got canceled, or you never even watch it? Let us know, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
I love it when a plan comes together.